All right. So, hi everyone. Am I audible and can see can you see the screen? Just give me an acknowledge if you can see the screen and can you
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
thank you.
even I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, we'll be starting in next 2 minutes. Okay. So there are two more participants to join, and then we'll start.
Yeah, Sheikh, I do have hard stop at 1:45 Eastern time.
Yeah. Yes, Joy. Can you please come again?
Now, I have another meeting at 1:45, so I'll be dropping from this call at that time.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Like we'll
Yeah,
start there.
thank you.
No problem. Let's do start. I okay. Let's do start before we get in delay. Let the people get joined or they can listen. We already waited for 10 minutes. Okay, so guys, I welcome both of you for this webinar. Okay, so we'll have a small discussion about the plan, like what we're going to do it in this webinar, and what is the main agenda is that to get you understand if you're going to get start your career in cybersecurity, what are the roles are there, and how these roles can help us, and what area of experience and tools we require. So I'll be focusing on these areas here. So before I go ahead further and talk more about it, I would like to just give you a short introduction about my profile, like who's talking behind the screen. So my name is Sheikh Iftikhar. So I'm a cybersecurity expert with 12 years of experience. I work into wider range of services where design, manage, and implement different security solutions. I've been lead to the different technical projects for the government, bank, healthcare, as well as into the private sector. So we're there into handling the different clients, infrastructures, their data privacy process, or endpoint security. We're there into helping the different forms for the audit systems. So we have a different type of services globally which we are handling, and we focus on what exactly the solution needed for an organization when they set up an the IT infrastructures or they need to be get upgrade in security policies. So we are there to help them out. So even we there into the training. So we have trained over 10,000 professionals globally, and I'm passionate about empowering the people about how this career can help them to build a career. If I talk about my personal profile, I'm a husband, father, hacker, gamer, sports fan, as well as dynamo lover. If you want to reach out to me to the LinkedIn profile, like where usually I'll post the use cases, like what we have done so far, what is the current project, what is the threat, what are the vulnerabilities, how we can come over with those vulnerabilities. These are the areas where we focus on. So this is a very short introduction about my profile. So without any delay, let's do start what is exactly we are going to do with this. So as we know, like the cybersecurity is very important in today's time. We can see that the services are getting increases over the internet. There is a lot of different cyber attacks happens. The attackers always there to find out the different type of vulnerabilities and take an advantage of those vulnerability to do an attack. There are the internal threat, there is external threat. There's different type of data security requirements are there. So that's the reason where the cyber security becomes as a more recognized and more demanded industries in today's market. So what is cyber security? So cyber security or the information security are the technology of protecting the IT assets. So that can be the computers, networks, servers, applications, programs, databases from unauthorized access or attack the team for the exploitation. So the attackers may use a different malicious software, or they might use different type of the phishing attack in order to gather the information, the user accounts information, and so on. So in order to protect that, we have the cyber security. So the cybersecurity, when I talk about it, that is the most important part where we see that there is how the security can be built. So whenever any organization building the security, this is at the major pillars where we talk about it. This is called the CIA triad. We have confidentiality, we have integrity and availability. So this is how the security can be built for any organization. Either if you are creating the policies, either we are protecting the endpoint or network, or it can be either the cloud services. So how design the security based on these standards? Now, what does it mean by the confidentiality? Confidentialities are nothing but whenever we send the message or we have different informations which we are transferring from one let's take in a very simple way from one computer to another computer. So there will be an intermediate transactions will happen. There might be an intermediate attackers will be there. They try to steal those information. They might be see the user account, the passwords, or they might take some other financial credentials. So that should not be a accessible to the unauthorized person. So they require a proper encryption here while we send this information. That's how the confidentiality. So data which are the authorized person are there can be able to see those. That is we call as a confidentiality. And integrity comes like when it is comes on the modifications, data tampering. We can see that who are authorized to modify these data. The authorized person should be able to authorize. Unauthorized person should not be able to get an access to modify any data. That might be if they can do it, that is a lack of integrity. I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say that you're doing the e-commerce shopping. You went to the Amazon and you have selected certain product. Now the price is $10. So you have no authorizations to make that price to $8 or $6. We can't change any information. We can't tamper any prices, right? Because if you can able to do that, if anybody can do that, that is because of the lack of integrity. That's how it works. And if I talk about the availability, the service should always available. 24 by 7, 365 days, the service should be available for the authorized users here. That is how the availabilities are there. So this is the major pillar when we talk about the CIA side, when the security design based on these pillars where we're going to discuss. This is a very important to understand how the security will be there. So there are the several domains are there which are going to be work, but here we are going to talk straight away, which is the most important role called as a SOC analyst. We call it a security operations center, or we can call it a security analyst for these job role as well. Sorry. So these play the crucial roles in maintaining the security of the organization systems. The SOC as a centralized unit where monitor, detect, response to the security incident. So the SOC team will focus what activities is happening to this organization's IT assets. So either it can be, there are the several different assets are there, which I'm going to tell you right away, like how those assets are there. So the SOC team will monitor all the security infrastructure. They detect the incident. Incident, it can be a suspicious activities or it can be a malicious activities or something which is not normal we can consider. So incident can be detected and analyzed, and we're going to respond to those incidents. We use a different type of threat intelligence tools in order to take an action on. So how does the SOC work? What exactly the SOC operations are there? Let me give you a small idea about this, and then we'll discuss more detail. So what is SOC? SOC is a security operations center, as we know. Like the SOC monitor for the sign of cyber attack, such as unusual login or any strange pattern in the network, whatever the type of network traffic is coming. Anything's just not normal in the organization. So once we spot this as a potential threat, we jump into the action, we investigate. We'll find out the root cause of that, from where this attack is happening, what are exactly these attack or root cause can be there, how we can mitigate that. So we'll use a different step in order to, stop these attacks that can be get exploited. This is how the SOC works. So we have a different IT assets. Now, when I talk about the IT assets, it would be something like these here. So IT assets can be anything to the organization, but this is just an example to get you understand. We have the endpoints. So endpoints can be considered as a workstations. desktops, laptops, computer, any digital asset that connect to the corporate network, we can consider that as an endpoint. It can be the IoT devices also. These are the endpoints. We have like the network devices. Network devices, whenever we are designing the different network architecture, so it depends like, how these assets can be there. So this is just an example to get you understand. There can be at several routers, switches, firewalls, load balancers, where the traffic can be get distributed. Like how these network can be get this and what are the devices are there, how this network architecture are there. So we have to discuss this all detail. That is how the assets can be considered. So this is at the network assets. We have the different type of the servers that can be a physical server, virtual server, cloud server. We have the applications, right? The business runs on different applications. Business transactions happens on different applications. So these are the applications that can be in-house applications, third-party applications. We can see that there will be a kind of like web applications. So these are the applications where we have it, different databases, cloud services, regularity compliance. So we have different data protections laws as well, like, that you need to be a compliance with it, and we need to maintain all those requirements for those compliance. So this is how the IT assets are there. Now, any type of violations may happen to these assets. That might be the internal or it can be an external. So, as a security analyst, we're going to monitor these all assets. Now comes the question here: how are we going to monitor? So, I want you to understand before we go ahead to more detail. I want you to get understand this in a very simple way. We have one tool. Okay, so the tool can be considered that as SIEM tool. We call it a SIM tool. Okay, security information event management. So these tool we consider like, what we do with this tool. We monitor we monitor the entire assets, whatever we are getting it. So if any suspicious activities happen, we get an alert on this tool. So these alert will pick and will do the investigation. Let me show you some basic steps before we go ahead. So here we can see that this is the SIM tool, which we are collecting the data from these SIM tools. Now, what type of data we collect from these assets? So we collect the data called as the logs, logs or events, which is very generally we can say that whatever the activity we perform on the end devices, that can be your computer, that can be a network, or it can be an applications, whatever we are using. Let's say that if I'm using my Windows machine, right? So the Windows machine also generate a different type of logs, that these logs will give the complete detail about what activities happen. If you see that here, we have something called as the Windows logs, right? So here you can see the Windows logs we have it. So these logs can be like applications log, security log, setup log, system log. So it's going to give us the complete information. What what type of activities happening on these devices. So this is how the logs are generated. So these logs are generated from the multiple sources. So here we can see this, the log type can be like authentications log. We can also have like network traffic logs, access logs, systems logs, applications logs, security logs, email logs. We have like the cloud-based system, so we get like logs from those cloud. We have physical access log. We have database log. So there are the different devices which we're going to collect the logs here. So that can be the network device, that can be the endpoints, either it can be the security assets, whatever we have. So we collect these logs, and the SIM what it will do it, if anything goes wrong, it's generated an alert here. So we can see that if any suspicious activities or the malicious activities happens, we get an alert. And these alert, we're going to investigate here. So we're going to investigate on these alerts and we'll take an action for the incident response. Now comes one more question here. How does the SIM is going to know that this is a suspicious or malicious activity? So when we see that the SIM has something called as a correlation source, it's a set of conditions that define this is as a this is a suspicious activity, or that can be a malicious activity. So, give me one. Let me have one. Yeah. So we can see that this is the correlation rules which are going to give us a condition that can be a suspicious activity. So let's see that example here. We can see that the correlations rules are nothing but a set of conditions that indicate a suspicious activity. Example, when we see that the 10 login failure events, it's like somebody is trying to get login to the particular machine, the 10 times they have tried, okay, with a different username in just 5 minutes. Do you think this is a normal activity or the suspicious activity in general? Saji, Joy, Swati, can you just tell me that? What do you think? It's a normal activity or the suspicious activity? It would be a suspicious activity, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So this is a suspicious activity which we need to investigate. We need to take an action on this. The similar way here. So we do the investigations. We come into the conclusion that is a true positive or the false positive. Based on those investigations, where we take an action. This is how the process happens as a security analyst when we are working. So there are the several tools are there, like the SIM tool. So we collect the data from multiple systems, right? Let me just give you one idea about this SIM tool, how it's look like. So this is one of the SIM tools. Let's say that the Splunk. Now this is a basic interface where you can see that we have the search and report, we have the different applications here, we have the dashboard, search history, recent views, whatever the activities has done. If I click on here, that is a default search and report, it will take me to the complete data analysis where we can understand the data, whatever the information you are coming. So I had a different tabs here like search, analytics, database, reports, alert, dashboard. So there are the different type of dashboards can be there. And here we can see that the different type of the data sources we can add it here. So it means like here is the process where we can onboard the different assets from where the data comes here. So it can be the cloud computing, it can be the networking devices, it can be the operating systems, it can be the security devices. So we can integrate these all systems in order to collect the data here. So once we get this data, let's imagine a situation. I'm talking about my Windows machine. So my Windows machine is already onboarded here. So I want to see like what type of activities happen last 5 minutes or less 10 minutes. Let's take example. So here I'm going to just type one of the queries. Let's say that this is index. Index is the database where it's getting stored in Splunk. OS is the operating system. Now here we have a different type of the source type. So these are the source type can be for the application security setup or system, which I have onboarded here. Let me see that if I take that for the, let's say that example, if I'm talking about the security here. So if I want to see that the security events for the last 15 minutes, let's imagine. So I can select the time interval. I can search about this here.
Yeah.
So
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you sharing your screen?
Yes.
Somehow I'm not seeing. Okay, that's fine.
You're not able to see my screen so far.
No.
Swati, you also.
No, I'm able to see it.
Okay. Maybe I logged through a phone, so might be some issues with that. No worries.
Can you just tap to the screen once? Okay, let me stop and share again. Or you want me to do that, Joy?
Yeah, can you do one more time?
Yeah, okay. Is that visible now?
Now it's working for me. Good, thank you.
So, okay, no problem. So here we can see that, guys, we have this index as an operating system, source type as a security events, and here we can see the list of events which is happening here. So we can see that the log event, which is going to give the computer name, that is your host name, and we can get the information. Last 15 minutes, what type of activities happened. So we have a different interesting field here where we can analyze those field and can understand the data set. If I click on this here, we can see that what type of activity happens, what is these events is, what message is here. I don't want you to take it more difficult way, just a simple way. This is an overview. So whatever it is happens in a system, we get these information. Even if I open any applications, if I type something, also we can be able to see those informations. Okay, let's say that if I open one application here, let me open PowerShell in a very simple way. So I launch Power. Here we see that. Okay, this is our PowerShell I have open, right? Now here I'm going to use some basic commands like if config. I use like host name. So this is just a basic commands line we have used here. Okay, so I have used the host name and I have used one command called as in ipconfig here, right? Now these information can we get into the same here? This is the question, right? So let me just get into like last 5 minutes. Let's say that. So if I click into the last 5 minute log here, so whatever the activity we have done, whatever like process we have done, the sim will collect those data here. So let me show you this. So here we can see that. So we have something called as a process ID. If I can click on this, this is going to give us the process IDs. And here we can be able to see what are applications we have used. Here you can see that we have opened PowerShell. Can you see this here, everyone? Windows PowerShell. Is that visible
Yes.
to you?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So, do we
So
have to customize any of these screens, or like it will be like GUI, which is default settings?
yeah, this is some of the default, but there are certain applications are there or the certain process are there which we have to like just customize those areas here. Okay.
Okay.
So here we can see that this is how the applications can be there and can give us like the different type of information. Let me just pause this data and show you something here. Let me go to the command line. So here it's going to give me all the commands what has happens here. So here you can see the host name we have done, like this is all the command before we have run here. So whatever the informations we are getting it right towards the system, what we have done. This is how where we can be able to see these informations. We can create the analytics. We have like different type of options for the database, reports, and so on. So this is some of the detail which we are going to see this. Okay. Now the similar way, the data is coming continuously here. So that's the reason it is just refreshing the screen. As well as we have another tool called as an IBM Curator. That is also a SIM tool. So if I'll show you about these tool here, like how these SIM tools are there. So if we can see that, let me just get login quickly for this tool as well. This is IBM Curator. Overall, what we are going to see that whatever the activities happens on the endpoints, those type of activities which we are going to see here. Okay. Now, here also we can see the dashboard. This is another SIM tool. Okay, so that can be any SIM tools here. So straight away I'm creating or clicking on the log activity. So here we can see that there are the different type of logs we are receiving. So these logs related to the it shows the event name. There's the log sources from where we are collecting these data. What type of informations we have received? What is the source IP, source port, destination IP, destination port? Even we have the different type of filters which we can apply here. So let me just click on this. If I'll say like I want to see the logs for last 24 hours, let's imagine a situation. So I'm going to see that last 24 hours logs, this is are coming. Now these logs are coming in different way. Let me just make it more clear. Let me group these by the event. Uh, okay, event names. Let me just group with this event name where you can understand how this data can be there. So here we can see that this is how the data set are there, and this is the activities which we can see that. So whatever the activities happens where we have the information here. So it can be like HTTP warnings we got, user account log we got it, API request has successfully have done. Even we can see that something as error message, virus detected, and so on. Now, if I want to investigate on these particular events, virus detected, for what computer this virus detected, what happens actually. So we can click on this and it will take us to the different screens where we do more analysis here. So this is the source IP, these are the destination IP. Mistake. This is how the virus detected from these systems here. So which are the different ports are there. So if I click one of these events, let's say that. So I can understand this. This is already quarantined successfully because of the threat intelligence tools which is integrated here. Now here there's a date mentioned, everything about it, and here you can see the source IP. This is the destination IP and the port here. Now here we can see that this is the information. This is the payload. This is a log which we have received. Over this log, if you can see that it came from the SMPT, like that is why the inbound email we can consider, and this has been noticed as a threat virus. And here if you can see that it says that document.zip. So this is the attachment which contain the worm here. So this is the malicious file that might be a malware is there in that file which we have collected here. So this is how the investigation process can be there while been working on these same tools. So it's going to give us the complete details. It's going to give us the information about how these data comes and how we're going to investigate on these data here. So there are the several dashboards are there. There are the several the applications are integrations here. So we can understand how these data sets comes, what type of data, what are the number of threats we have received. So this is one of the dashboard you can see that it's going to give me the offenses view, like how many offenses happen, such as a critical, high, or normal categories. So this is how it's there. We can see that the number of offenses which happens 11 here. So what are those offenses are there? This is all information. And if I'm saying that what are the data we collected? So event view and the flow here. So it's going to give me the information about the number of events we have received. EPS is nothing but event per second. We can see that flow per second we have it here. So this is how the informations we are getting it, and these informations which help us to analyze the more detail about how these data sets are working, what type of logs we are receiving, and what is these log types are there, and if anything is happens that can be a malicious offices, all those areas where we can investigate, we can understand what are the source type from where it is getting initiated, how we're going to take an action. So there are different type of summaries we can get it. So these summaries will elaborate about the threat types which is there with the multiple asset lists what we have. So overall, I believe you got an idea how the centralized monitoring can be there. So this is how the centralized monitors are there, the using this tool where we have been going to work. We understand the entire systems. How does it work? So I don't want you to be get more confused, showing you the some difficult task of this. As I said you, one more thing I want to tell you that offenses. Now, if I click on these offenses, we were discussing about something as a correlation rules, right? So here we have the rules, these rules, which can give you the complete idea about what type of threats, like how these correlation rules can be get defined. So let me just quickly give you some detail about this. Let me load this. All right, so here we go ahead, and here we can see the groups. This is how the the groups are there, which is created that's related to the threat type. So what are the threat type we are getting it? How those threat type can be get defined? So here you can see that this is can be for the authentications, botnet. It can be for the network definitions. It can be for the malware. It can be for the suspicious activity. So there are the several type of groups will be created. That is called the correlation rule. Let me just filter to one of the rule type. Let's say that authentication example. So when I click on the authentications here, put all the conditions. So these conditions must be get matched if we're getting an alert here. So authentications, if I'm clicking on this, so this will give you the complete details. So here we can see that the login failure has happened. So here the conditions you can see that. For example, in a very simple way. So this is apply for the login failure where from the success to the same destination IP or the event which is detected by our local machine. So this is for the local. It is also can be for global. So authentication success matches with at least one time in 5 minutes after any of the multiple login failure for the same destination matches with the same destination IP here. So it means like multiple login failure happens, then the successful login also taken place. In that case, we can see these type of event here. And if I talk about the multiple login failures, if you can see that authentication failure. So this is comes when at least 10 events we have seen from the same username in just 5 minutes. So this is called as the correlations rule. So these rules can be defined with the multiple conditions here in order to detect those attacks. So whenever we talk about this is what I was saying you, the alert will come based on the correlations rules, whatever we have it. So these correlations rule, it matches something like this here. So whenever we get an alert, whenever we have an alert or we start responding to the incident, every incident have a certain type of severity levels here. So incident have a different type of the severity levels. That can be the criticals, that can be the high, medium, low. It depends upon what is the impact. Whenever the cyber attack is taking place, what would be the impact to these IT assets? What type of losses the organizations are going to face with these attacks? That's how the impact will be there. Based on these impact, the losses can be there to the organizations, and based on that, the severity levels will be different. In a very simple way, we have one option that is we call as the criticality level. The asset criticality levels is measures based on the value. How, if we have the more value asset, that is the more critical asset. If we have a less value asset, that will be the less critical asset. This is how it will be there. So this is how the asset list can be there, and these asset lists will define how the data can get transferred. In a very easy way, we can understand these pictures where you can get a clear view. So this is what the SOC analyst will do it. I believe you got a very clear idea with this definition. So as a security analyst, we monitor alert by using the same tools. So once the alert comes, we analyze those alerts by using the different type of threat intelligence tools, and then we'll decide if it's a legitimate or is a bad. If it is a legitimate, we're going to ignore that. If it is a bad, then we're going to take an action. So it can be the incoming attack. Now, what does it mean by the incoming attack? It's an internal threat that might be a possible. So we have an internal team, that might be do accidentally, or somebody will do it wantedly. So intentionally, or it can be an accidentally, whatever the activities happen. So from the internal, the team are there. So if this team is doing something that may lead to the cyber attack. So we as a cyber security expert team will help the team to stop doing the bad activities, or we take an action. What is the intention of that activity? So it has happens intentionally, or that it happens accidentally, or what is the reason of that? What is the root cause of it? That's how the security expert will work. So we work as a security expert, so we need to interact with the entire team. So in the organizations, we know that there are the several team are there. We have the sales team, HR team, accounting team, construction team, managing teams. So in IT infrastructures, we have developers, front end, Java, .NET, and so on. So these are the different team are working. We have IT infrastructure teams like system team, network team, database team. So when these team are there, we have a team, the line of security, the IT security team. So these teams are like IAM team, endpoint security team, vulnerability assessment, network security team. We have like SOC operations, the SOC analysts, which are going to work on the different multiple tools like SIEM, SOAR, threat intelligence tools, and so on. So overall, we as a security expert, we're going to see all the activities, not only just an external, but also as an internal. So we guide the entire team like how to work on it. To baseline the security, I'll give you a very simple example here. Let's understand with this example. I want you to just answer me as a civil engineer. Let's say that. So what exactly the civil engineer will do it? What is major activity in general?
He'll plan his buildings or whatever he is going to make.
Construction related.
Construction related
Yeah,
things.
exactly. He'll be there into is there into the activity of constructions, he's going to construct the building, houses, and so on. So while it's constructing, as we know, he need to interact with the different teams, like architects. He need to interact with the masons, tile workers, plumbers, electricians, painters, and so on. There will be a several other team also there. They might need to get interact with that. Now, if there is a lack of communications with this team, with the civil engineer, do you think the construction plan will go according how it designed? Not possible, right?
No.
No.
So they need of a proper communication. They need to get understand how they are performing the task and so on. The similar way, if I just take you to the cybersecurity team, so we are the cybersecurity expert here. When we have been they are the centralized team and monitoring. So we need to see that the entire team, what type of activity they perform. Okay, so that can be the HR team, that can be the sales team, that can be the marketing team. So what type of activity they are doing it. This is very important for us to get understand. So whenever we see that in the organization, there are the several team are there, they're doing the several activities. So we as a cybersecurity expert, we're going to monitor all these activities. So if it's something going as a malicious or suspicious, we're going to detect that, we're going to investigate on that, and we're going to respond to the cyber threat here. So we'll take an actions how we're going to mitigate. So SOC analyst 24/7, 365 days, they actively monitor. They'll see what type of activities is happening and how we need to take an actions on this. So what type of threats can be there? Just some of example here. It can be the phishing attacks, it can be the man in the middle attacks, it can be the DDoS attack, SQL injections to the applications where they can inject the malicious code to manipulate the databases. That might be a possible ransomware attack. So malware that demand to pay certain ransom in order to get an access back. This is type of attack also can be happen. And these ransomware or this is the malicious code can be get injected via different way. It can be through the email or it can be through the USB drives and so on. We have the zero-day exploitations. We have the cross-site scripting. We can see the download by the drive by download, the malware can get delivered to the target systems and so on. That's the multiple possibilities are there where the malware can get entered into the system and they can get exploited. So we as a cybersecurity expert, we're going to monitor these, we're going to detect these, and we need to know that. We need to be a well-skilled set, like how we're going to take a mitigation step, how we can stop these type of attacks when it's going to be happens to the organizations or going to be happened or already happened. So there are the several, the security expertise skill set we require that we can protect these assets here. So it can be like malware incident, it can be unauthorized access, it can be a phishing attack, it can be the DDoS attack, it can be the insider threat. As I said, like internal threat can be also there, or it can be different type of vulnerabilities, IoT security systems, or it can be the application security, data, brute force attacks, security policy violations, and so on. There's a number of cyber attack or threats may happen. As a cyber security expert, we need to understand from where it is happening, what is the root cause of these, and what is the mitigation steps can be there. Not only that, but as we can see that the cloud is very important. So every services is getting migrated to the cloud. So cloud security is big, more important here. So what type of technologies, policies, control implementation to protect the data, applications. We talk about how we can add the different policies in the cloud services, what type of requirement can be there for those policies. So this is how the cloud skill set which we required. So we're going to focus on the Azure Sentinel during this session. Like you get an overview about the cloud services as well, how the cloud security experts will work. The same while we talk about the data security, availability, compliance, disaster recovery, business continuity, governance, identity access management, what is authorizations, accountabilities, what are those things are there, okay? So this is some of the areas which we are going to focus on. So in very simple way, we're going to talk about how we're going to protect the data for an organization, what are the endpoints, network, everything. So there are the several authentications, authorizations, exploitations, vulnerabilities. These are some security terms which you're going to understand. Network security, terminal security, container security, API security, and so on. So as a security expert, when you've been working, as you know, like it's the most demanded job role. As we can see that the services are globally getting increased and there is requirement is huge here, right? Which is very handsome salaries are there in the organizations where the people have been getting paid with good a good amount of packages where we can see that it's all depends upon how you have learned this skill set. This is a very important. How you value to the organization. Are you be a bridge for the problem or not? This is what they need it. If you are a solution for the problem, they're ready to hire you and pay you as much as you demanded based on your job profile. So if I'll say you that, what are those companies are there the hiring about it? So as you can see that EY, Google, KPMG, PwC, Microsoft, IBM, Deloitte, Infosys, Qualcomm, and so on. I have many people who have taken an advantage of these training and they've been a part of this. Okay, so my team will, if you require, they can give you some more detail about how this is can work and what is the possibilities are there. So overall, if you have been learning the cybersecurity, if you want to know that how it can be a possible, why we need to learn, because as we can see that this is a global cyber attack and it's the perfect time to safeguard yourself with this type of coming skill set which is most demanded in the market. And to become a cybersecurity expert, what we need to be have the languaging, programming language is very important. No, is that you need to be have strong technical background. No, today time the people are getting hired based on the skill, not based on the education. This is a very important concept. The organizations are need to know what you can do for us. That's the most important. So the people who have been getting hired in cybersecurity, especially we talk about it, these are some of the tool list which you need to be having hands-on on it. Splunk, Azure Sentinel, there are the different threat intelligence tools, SIM tools, Wireshark, analysis, problem solving skills. This is what we require. So we have in the different positions. If I talk about the SOC level 1, level 2, level 3, so they are the skilled, they are ready to get start the job with all those tools which I said you. So we have the complete process which we are going to discuss about how the SOC operations will work, what are the tools, how you get in hands on the real SOC environment, what are the real solving problems we have it, how we going to perform on the interview, right from your technical discussions, your self introductions, everything. We're there to guide you and help you out with that. The most asked questions where you've been perfect, not only just with the it's not like you're going to answer them, it's like discussion. You will get involved with the different discussions when you get the complete skill set. So we guide you this, we'll give you all sorted and easy way to get prepare you for the interview here. So to get a land a SOC job, these are the steps which we are going to guide you. This is how it's the process are. As we can see that it's a global job market trending with the high paying salaries. This is where we can do it. Now, if I talk about the sessions, how these sessions will be there. The sessions are live sessions as we are interacting one-to-one. The similar way we have these sessions. So for these sessions, we get start from scratch. I don't want you to be get confused. Is that I need some prerequisiting? Is that I needed to be have this skill set? Nothing to be know. If you're non-technical, that's absolutely fine because we're going to learn everything from scratch. We're going to start the networking concept. Then we're going to talk about the SOC analyst role, the complete process. Also, we're going to cover the cloud security, which you can understand how the cloud will be there, along with the interview preparation. This is where we are going to give you the complete, roadmap to get it. Overall, we can be also give you some of additional for only for the selected batch. This is the compliment as we are giving it. You've been getting the complete ethical hacking lab for this batch if you're joining. You get the complete access to the videos as well as to the web pen testing. So this is a video based. Additionally, whenever you feel like you want to get upgrade or you want to watch this video, you can do it. This is the lifetime access, and all these sessions are get recorded. The live sessions what we are talking, that is also get recorded, and you will get an video access for those all videos also. Okay. So overall, we can see the tools like Splunk, IBM QRadar, Wireshark, and Azure Sentinel. This is very important, but additionally with video based, you have this Nessus. And if I talk about the threat intelligence tools, it's a part of investigation. So while we're doing the investigation, we're going to use a different type of threat intelligence tools, like how we can work on this. This is the process which we're going to do it. So
Those are
this, yeah,
those are the log monitoring tools, right? Wireshark, Splunk.
yeah, Wireshark is a traffic analysis. Like we like we analyze the different type of traffic here over the network. So that is like network packet analysis. Splunk, IBM Curator, and Azure Sentinel we can consider as a log monitoring tool, as a SIM tools. Okay. So this is how it will be there, guys. So whatever we are like working on it, it will be the live and one-to-one interactions. If you have any questions, queries, or while we are going ahead with the use cases, you can use these all tools and can do the practice on your home environment. This is how we are going to do it. So thank you everyone for listening me. And if you have any questions or doubt, please feel free to ask me.
Yeah, it's a good session, Sheikh. I mean, I was going through your LinkedIn profile as well. You are having very good experience on this.
Thank you, Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as you said, I mean, we don't need very good programming knowledge to learn this cyber security. I mean,
Yes.
how come this is different from the AWS or the Azure security? And when you are teaching these concepts, uh, do you go
Uh-huh.
through those any cloud concepts along with this?
Exactly. We're going to have that. See, I'll tell you. See, when we talk about the security, right? So,
Yeah.
we talk about the asset security, right? So, when we're talking about the asset security, either it can be on premises, either it can be cloud. The security is same, the process is same. Like, some type of terms will get changed, some type of technology will get updated. That's all we talk it. So if we know very well about the information security, how we're going to protect and what are things has happened, which is quite easy for us to get handle those. And we are going to do the lab on cloud as well. We're going to use the Azure Sentinel for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Is
yeah, good. Sorry.
no. I just wanted to know if we for this to start with, is there any kind of preparation or something we need to learn or something?
No, Swati, you don't need to have anything on it, because we're going to learn everything from scratch. From scratch to advanced, we're going to learn. Right from basic to advanced, we're going to have it. So how the plan will be there? Initially, we'll get start some introduction to the security, where you get understand all the terms, and then we'll start our first chapter, that is on the networking side. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll discuss more detail about the networking from scratch. That's again, and that is not for the network administrator. It's just to get you understand how the network works. That's the
Yeah.
most important skill set. And then we're going to talk about the security. So that is also we get start how the security design, what is the SOC operations, what is the incident response. So we'll spend some time on theoretical concepts. Then we'll take to you to the practical area. So we'll set up the lab together and we'll start working on those labs. So I'll give you a task, even I'll explain you everything, like, what you need to do on those tools.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. All right. So is there any doubt anyone have it? Please feel free to ask. Sajid, Akin, if you have anything. Joy.
I mean, how about the class timings? Like, is the same time or like, are there any different
Yeah,
timings?
mostly we're planning for the same time, but you will get a complete update with my team. Okay. Like, they connect and they have some customizations with the timing, no problem. We can have it, like, we'll discuss, because this is very limited uh, strength batch. So we take only 4 or 5 people in this batch. It's like not like an institute-based training. It's live interaction and how the industry will work. Same scenarios we're going to discuss. So we have very limited people in this batch, and you're going to get the timing update with my team. So like something up and down, we can discuss on that. There's no issues on this. All right. So that's it for today's session. Thank you very much, guys. So my team will get update and we'll onboard it and we'll start.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Sheikh. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good day. Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you. Thank you. Bye.